Hi guys, this is Zilla, and I thought for a minute that I would go ahead and talk to you a little bit about what's coming when this is released to the public off of the CV test server, because it is very, very close. A lot closer than a lot of people think. This is, according to Wargaming, their final build, and as you can see at the moment, it appears that the test server is down. I've been trying to get on all morning, and it has not let me get on to the test server. Now it's going to act differently and do this. Nope. Failed to connect to the server. Please try again later. But and I'm not sure you can see this, so I'll verify it later. But this is the upgrade Newsflash. If you have not read this, I suggest that you carefully take a look at it. But it says they're talking about learning how to play carrier. We worked hard on the final versions. It doesn't say work in progress. It says we worked hard on the final versions of the visuals and new mechanics balance. Of course, we all know there's some work to do there, but it's minor. And they were working on the responsiveness of the aircraft, the clarity of the interface, and the mechanics. All three of these still need work. But they're almost there. They're like within their grasp. They talk about balance, how important they want balance to be, and how the matchmaker is going to work. And then they go about and they tell you all about the tech tree and what they're going to do. And I'm going to put this line right here. They are going to, you see the tech tree line? You're going to have carriers at 4, 6, 8, and 10. Tiers 5, 7, and 9 are going to be auxiliary carriers later on, and they'll introduce those later on. So if you currently have a 4, 6, 8, or 10, you're in good shape. If you don't, they're going to bump you back one tier and apply those points to your free experience. So you're not going to lose out. You are going to make it. So they're going to only be, again, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And they explain their logic behind this. A lot of it has to do with matchmaking, and a lot of it has to do with carriers' influence over the battle. And so they talk about matchmaking. They talk about progression between the carriers will be better. And it, according to the math, it does add up to a lot less between tier 6 and 8 as it is now, as opposed to tier 6 and 8 when it will be live. Okay, so if you're in the game live now, it takes a pretty substantial amount of credits and EXP to go 6, 7, 8. Whereas when this comes out, you're not going to have to spend as much to get what you need done. Okay. So there's that. So we continue. So they talked about how they're going to work the tech tree. They talked about this being their final version. I've explained to you what I believe the tech trees are going to look like. They explain their rationale behind it. Obviously, we haven't spent months modeling these odd tier carriers just to scrap them. So if you currently have a tier 7, don't panic. At the moment, we intend to transition them into second tier carrier branches of aircraft carriers with alternate gameplay styles. Pay attention here, folks. There's a lot that's said here that's not said. You catch my meaning? Sometimes it's more important what they don't say as opposed to what they do. A different approach to claiming victory for you and your team, as well as different interactions with allies and enemies. There are a lot of different options here. They could do little less damage and assist their allies more instead of different ways like spotting enemies or through other advanced capabilities which were abundant with aircraft. That's true. It's possible that some types of aircraft in such alternative branches would be able to set smoke screens, leaving heavily damaged ships from destruction. They might also be able to help Allied battleships in putting out fires, or even land on water and capture objectives. Aircraft might even, this is key, have something in their arsenal to help combat submarines should that ever become necessary. That last sentence is so important. We just got through the Halloween nonsense, and we got through all of the submarine nonsense during the Halloween thing. The reason I say it's nonsense is it went on too long. A message to my Russian friends. Davos. In America, when Halloween's over, it's over. It doesn't go on past Thanksgiving into the Christmas holiday season. When Halloween ends, it ends. We don't go past that. Okay? This has gone on way too long. Anyway, I digress. That sentence, you read into it what you want. But A, it tells me two things. Number one, subs are coming. And it also tells me, number two, British carriers are on the way. Where the hell did you get that from? Zella, where'd you get that? Who in World War II made a specialty out of anti-submarine warfare using escort carriers? The British. The British pioneered submarine warfare, anti-submarine warfare from aircraft. They did it in the Bay of Biscay in Coastal Command, and they did it in convoy escorts. And they were very successful at it. And they had a group of guys called the Boffins, little history lesson here, it's a bunch of civilians, 2 Americans, who went over there and they did the math, and they figured out the right color of planes should be. They figured out the drop distance, the depth of the depth charges. British called them depth bombs. They did all this work, and they sponsored pioneering research in the United States with homing torpedoes and whatnot. Basically, they killed the U-boat with math. So the British were the pioneers in that. They were the ones that pioneered the 3-inch rockets to use against U-boats that were diving. They used American Wildcat fighters. They called them the Martlet to attack submarines on the surface. So the British did all of this stuff. So that's why I say, when they talk about anti-submarine warfare, sideways here. And I don't read too much into it, but to me, they're talking about the British carriers. That, to me, is what they're talking about. And boy, wouldn't you just love to take the Ark Royal out and tool around on that. Okay? So they say that, and these are just some of the options that you should understand. They are meant as auxiliary interactions that can be done together, directly causing damage to the team. So, why did they do this? Well, okay, they're going to, when can you expect it? Their attention, and they're honest, their attention is on the mechanics themselves and the balance of the initial strike carriers. After the rework is done, that means in another patch, let me translate that for you, they'll start alternative branches. The rework's almost done. It's coming soon. It's coming real soon. And they're given an example here of what it might look like. They talk about ammunition of aircraft carriers and the changes. According to what they have written, these changes will just be automatic. If you have a module or an upgrade that isn't going to work, you get refunded for that. So they're not cheating you. They've changed a couple of signals. And they talk extensively about compensation and how they're going to help you if you don't want that. So, again, this article is important. You should read through it. They tell you about how they're going to reset the skills. This is why I say this thing is damn close It is real close, guys. Real close. They talk about the Enterprise and the Saipan and the Kaga, and how that's going to be affected. They are removing the ARP, Azure Lane, camo from the Enterprise, probably because of the graphics, I would guess. They don't say why. They just say you're going to get credited to balloons. If you wish, you can buy it again. So they're getting rid of it, but they're not. You figure that one out. I don't know. Okay. So this right here, this article, which is called Aircraft Carrier Changes to the Tech Tree, Upgrades and Commander Skills. It was published on the 22nd of November. This, very important you take a look at it, because this is ready to release. This is coming. And this is coming soon. And if I had to hedge my bets, I'd say late January, mid-January, you're going to see this. So get ready. And if any of my clanmates or anybody out there, any of my friends listening, if you have a tier 5, 7, or 9 carrier, get it to 6 as soon as you can. Hit those co-op battles, hit those random battles, get that carrier to an even tier. Because otherwise you're just going to get compensated for it with free experience, which is all fine and good. But that's what's coming. So I thought I'd give you guys a heads up. For those of you who didn't know, I thought you'd give a heads up on what's that. Very intriguing. They mentioned submarines. And if you're talking about anti-submarine warfare and World War II using carriers, you cannot talk about it without talking about the British. Okay? All right, I will talk to you later. You guys be good to each other. Have a great day. Bye.